Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. It's the last few days of year 4 here on High Ridge Farm, and it is a beautiful snowy day. And it does make me wish that I could see more snow. It's something that we don't get a lot of in the UK, and it does make me a little bit sad in that regard. But it would be nice. So yes, that is a thing. So yeah, one of the things that we've kind of got going on with that is, well, just snow doesn't happen very often here. It's just how it is. You need a diamond, do you, Sebastian? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head on down to the mines, and we are going to go and just find what we can. Kind of hope for the best a little bit here, and fingers crossed we can find some diamonds. If not, I mean, I know I've got some, definitely. I mean, I've probably got a stack of nearly 1,000 of the damn things. But anyway, so we're going to head down quite low down in the mines here, because I have a sneaking suspicion that we wanted to travel nice and far down to try to find one. Now, of course, I do have the books read from the dwarf, which mean that I can find a diamond just by smacking open a normal rock, which is going to be quite helpful. Whether I find one, it's a very, very different question. I don't know. But we'll see. And kind of hope for the best, really. So yeah, let's keep it going. So I'm just going to try and murderize this little swine over here. No, he's ugly. Now, look, there's a lava crab. Look at that big stack of amethysts. Lovely. But that's not a diamond. That's not what we're majorly after here. Have no fear. We're not quite full on being... what's the word? We're not essentially trying to be De Beers. Don't worry. We're not going to go and try and artificially pump the market of diamonds. That's not my main jam here, but yeah, we do want diamonds. That is what we're after. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Okay, we've got some annoying crabs just getting in the way, as is a common trend of crabs and their annoyance. They're very frustrating, really, at the best of times. So, have we got anything here? No, I really should have brought some bombs, shouldn't I? That would have made life so much easier, but that would have involved common sense and logic, and as I'm sure we've already discovered, I don't do that. I don't do logic or common sense or anything of that ilk. I am a moron at the best of times. So, let's keep on slugging my way through. So, we've got some fire-breathing squid kids, which are really annoying. Got lots of things there. Got a pressure nozzle. Ooh, that could be useful. Again, it's just a useful thing to find. Just not superbly important at this point in time, I'd say. I don't really care too much. Right, let's quickly mine that open. We've got some radioactive ore. Lovely. I mean, I'm going to need that. That's just going to get thrown into the hopper, into my heavy furnace. My heavy furnacery. I know that's not technically a word, or a very good, accurate description of what it is, but it is a... I do have a not quite industrial application of furnacing going on, and I'm wondering whether I could end up with a more industrial application of furnace. I mean, it'd be quite good if I could. Who knows, though? We'll see, we'll see. Right, anyway, we've got a couple of things that we need to work our way through, at least, anyway. So, we've got what we came in for. Now, let's find Sebastian. This could be the next tricksy bit, because Sebastian does have a habit of disappearing to one of two places. Well, hello, Leo. I do like Leo's winter outfit. It's very colourful and very sweet, and I like it. It makes me happy. I know, small things, small minds, but it's a thing. Okay, Sebastian's not in his bedroom. So, where could you be lurking? I mean, Sebastian really does live the COVID dream of working from home. I say COVID dream. Yeah, it's definitely not a dream stay, is it? Believe me, I don't miss that. And I'm actually, I will say something, terrible at working from home. I don't know if that's something to do with my ADD specifically, but I do find it very difficult to work when I'm not surrounded by my co-workers. Because I look at things and I go, oh, that's distracting. Oh, that's shiny. Oh, that's interesting. And it all just ends up being a little bit, bad. Is probably the best way of putting it. I'm too easily distracted at home. And my home office, which is where I do most of my recording as well, is where I do my day shift stuff. So it ends up being a bit of a muddle. I mean, that's fair enough, Abigail. You're not wrong with that statement. It is a harsh old thing that it is true that people do tend to look at you a bit different if you are... Well, they look at you negatively if you present yourself differently. And I guess as a sort of a stereotypical alternative girl, I think that's probably going to be a thing. I mean, heck, in my younger days, I was very much goth. I'd still definitely consider myself definitely on the alternative side. I just don't wear the spikes and collars as much anymore. Spikes and chains and all sorts. I mean, I occasionally do when I'm working the bar, because it kind of fits the alternative vibe of the pub. It's a bit strange, though, I will admit, potentially, that how people will treat you differently based on that. But the thing is, assumption is the biggest way of looking. If you look at somebody, that's your first judgment, isn't it? You just got to have the capability and maturity to understand, as an individual, that maybe what you're seeing isn't the be-all and end-all of that individual. But philosophical contemplations on that aside, let's dump all of our gemstones away in here. We need some coal, and we're going to just smoke some fish, because fish smoking is fun, as opposed to actual smoking. Which, honestly, I wouldn't know. Never having smoked in my life. Couldn't say otherwise. Anyway, I've gone on a bit of a weird tangent ramble there. And I think of all the vices that I genuinely have, it's literally just drinking. Which is something I can't fully replicate in Stardew, because, I mean, you can get reasonably tiddly in it, can't you? But, hey, that's literally all I can say on that front. So, yes, it is a lovely, strange old kettle of fish, isn't it? Right, let's see what else we can do here. Nope. Okay, so I've put the diamond away like a silly old sausage, haven't I? I need to go and grab one. That's annoying. Ugh. Where am I going to get one? I guess that's the question, isn't it? Where am I going to find one? I mean, I know I've got some, obviously, but... Smoked carp, that's nice and all, but not too worried. Okay, that's fine. Right. Now, Sebastian, I'm assuming you were on the island today, because everyone seems to be sort of filtering in from there. Well, there's your mum and stepdad, and there's your friend Abigail. So where are you? You've got to be around here somewhere, haven't you? I mean, one would assume that you're lurking around here somewhere. Where he is a very different question. I don't know. Is he back home? No. No. So where is he? He's gone totally AWOL, hasn't he? Okey pig and pokey then. I mean, that's somewhat frustrating, but not really much I can do about it, is there? Oh well. I'll find him soon enough. Just you wait. I will find him, and then that'll be that sorted. And then we'll pretty much be ready for the next part of the day. So, oh, lo and behold, there he is. Have a diamond. Yes, that's wonderful stuff. And I also like Sebastian's look for the winter season. I think, actually, I wouldn't say there's anyone's I dislike. So, yeah. I like them all. I don't think anyone's got a negative one. And I probably should, to be fair, probably have tried to make some form of slightly nicer looking sort of presenting stuff. I mean, that's really, really descriptive of me there, isn't it, Walrus? No, what I mean, it really, strictly speaking, is it would have been nice if I'd made a better winter outfit for myself. I didn't make one, and I've just gone with whatever I was wearing at the time. Which, you know, it's my own fault. Now, I've got this here being my not really industrial tree operation going on, but it is, you know, it's getting there. The problem I've got is a distinct lack of pine cones. And that is something that I'm going to need more of, because pine cones are maybe not like the most important, but I think that they are an incredibly important option for myself here. And I need more of them. I think that's a very sensible given, to be fair. And yeah, I'm going to need more pine cones because I want to make a lot of pine trees. I want to grow a lot of them, to be fair. So that's what we're going for. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Well, that's Abigail's plushette. I mean, what even is one of those? I don't actually know what one of those really is. Let's have a quick look. By the power of Google. Oh. Oh, it's some spiritual. Oh! It's the bit from a Ouija board. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I mean, that's painfully stereotypical, but I hadn't realised that that's what that bit was called. I mean, as somebody who, like, I never grew up exactly with a Ouija board in the house, so it's not like I have any idea. And the most I ever saw was, of course, scary movies. Like, horror movies were really where you'd see them, weren't they? So, yeah, okay, that's a thing. Funny, though. Kind of interesting. All the same, kind of interesting. So I'm going to attach some tappers to some of the existing trees that we've got. And that's really what I'm kind of aiming for, is a lot of trees. Because I'm going to need them. I think that's kind of reasonable, that I'm going to need a lot of trees. And this is going to become my forestry area. And I think what I might end up doing is, where I've got that raised section which currently has the trees on, I might turn that into something else on the farm. I don't know what, though, but I'm going to potentially change it up. So we'll mix it up, see what we can do. And maybe we can make something a little bit more exciting. I mean, hopefully we can, because that's kind of the aim of the game here, having something a little bit more exciting. Can't say for certain, though. So yeah, we'll just keep slugging our way through and see what we can do here. Okay. So let's see what else we can organise. Well, we do have a little bit of a, not really issue per se, but we still need more of the pine cones. And that's kind of the issue we've got right now, is we don't exactly have many of them. And I'm wondering, where am I going to get some more? Now, it might sound really silly, because, of course, that just means I have to cut down some more trees. which, you know, it's not the end of the world, but I'm going to need to do so. And of course I'm going to make some more wooden paths from the trees that I've cut down, because I'm going to use those as the route. And I think that'll be pleasant more than anything, just to make a paving section. And maybe the brick would be nice, I don't know. I think I should probably try making something that looks interesting at least. That's probably a sensible plan, isn't it? Try and make something interesting. Okay, so we got some more diamonds. They would have been useful for Sebastian yesterday, but not really the end of the world, because he's already got what he needed, and he can stop complaining about things, and it doesn't matter after that. And that's all good. So, let's keep it trucking. Well, I'm going to drink some triple shot espresso. I'm going to eat myself some more of the lovely spicy eel to speed myself up a bit, because I'm always going to need a good old speed boost right now. That's definitely something I'm never going to be upset about. And see what we can do. I mean, I've got some like vaguely clever ideas, but the question really comes with what else can I do? So we've got some tea. That's lovely. And the thing is, I'm always going to need lots of tea, and we're always going to have lots of it. It's a given at this stage in the game. We're always going to have lots of tea being grown here. That's fine and all. But what else could we do? The trouble is, with the last few days of the winter season, there aren't as many things that we can do. Because there's no point in planting any new crops, are there? It's not like it's going to make a difference, is it? And yeah, that's kind of a given, really, isn't it? That there's not much else that we can do. Not the end of the world, it's just that's how it is, unfortunately. Okay, let's deposit those. We'll grab these. And the thing is, having stripped down some parts of the farm, I do feel that it has made life a little bit easier. I think it's probably the nicest way of describing it. It's a little bit more manageable. It's the nicest way of putting it, probably. I say nicest way of putting it, it's probably the best way of putting it. Because there are more things that I can actually do with the different parts of the farm and, you know, get stuff done. Which is good. So. Right, those three, I don't even know if they're going to get ready by tomorrow. We'll see, though, we'll see. If not, it's not the end of the world. I'll definitely live. And we'll just kind of go from there, won't we? Okay, so we got lots of hay. I didn't really want to grab that. I want to grab the animal cracker. Let's see if I can improve the production of any of my animal-y friends here that we have going on. My little dinosaur buddies. And, yep, so we've got lots of mayonnaise to go. We've got lots of milk to do. That's, you know, all well and good. We're going to have lots of that. That's fab. So, what next? I mean, I guess that's the big question, isn't it? What next? Okay, so we've got lots of void eggs, and we've got all the other eggs that are going to go into mayonnaise. Now, one of the things that I've been sort of looking at is, of course, I'm still sort of debating what I'm going to do with the next year in Stardew. Now, I might hold on to the farm as it is, and just kind of move on to something a bit different, because I do want to experiment with the new farm layout. The fact that it starts with a coop sounds really interesting to me, and I like that as a plan. Genuinely does sound very interesting. At the same time, there are other things that I could do. I could move on to one of the other games that I've been meaning to play, so I might end up doing a... If I can do, I think I can do a vote on this. sort of a what would be the next game you'd like to see me do something with, and what sort of thing should I even do? Because of course I've got lots of options of things that I could do, and whether they're the kind of the best is a different question, I guess. So yeah, we got some plans and we'll figure it out. I think that's the best way of doing it. But for now, we're going to saturate the farm building with, well, not the farm building, sorry, all these preserve jars, and we'll kind of go from there. I think that's probably the best plan of action right now. So, let's keep trying. Because we've got lots of things we can do. And, well, where else we can go is a different question. Because, of course, like pickling things like hot peppers. Now, considering I have actually recently smelled one of the most potent hot sauces I've ever smelled in my life, one of my colleagues, who is from Trinidad and Tobago, brought in a very spicy sauce from Trinidad. And, yeah, oh my. It is eye-tingling in how hot and spicy it smells. It's glorious. And I am not going to lie, I want some. It's one of those things. There's lots of different hot, spicy cuisines, and yeah, it makes me happy. Which, I'm never going to lie, hot food is my jam, and maybe turning High Ridge Farm into a hot sauce farm. I mean, that would be quite nice if there was an artisan good that needed multiple things to produce. Because technically the cooking stuff needs multiple things to produce, doesn't it? But it's not really what I would consider an artisan good, or something that's like, I mean, maybe that could be something you could do? Is that feasible? I mean, I don't know. Or would you cook everything? I mean, it's definitely a consideration, isn't it? I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm having like sort of weird rambling thoughts of going, I wonder what you could do with them. And I'm genuinely curious to see if one could make an artisan hot sauce maker. And I've seen I've used mango. Oh, sorry, I've not personally used, but I have used mangoes in cooking. But I have seen mangoes and hot sauce in hot sauces before, and making some interesting tasting combinations. And I eat a lot of spiced mango anyway myself, so I think it's certainly something that could be. If I was making a hot sauce producing farm, I think it would be kind of nice to have lots of chili peppers and mangoes and garlic and, you know, those sorts of things growing on the farm, because they're the things that I would genuinely use in a hot sauce. I think that would be, you know, the most sensible stuff, at least. But I know that's a different sort of thought process on that one. So yeah, we'll give that a go, maybe. Maybe that's the thing. Right, so let's just finish up here. So as you can see, I'm sort of just laying down a lot more wooden walkways to give a area of no growth, almost. I'm kind of trying to discourage other things appearing here that I don't want to appear here. Which seems maybe counterproductive. But there are certain things that I just don't want or need to just be, you know, in the way. And there are a lot of things that could just maybe go away. I don't need them. Like, I don't need a quite large quantity of rocks, and as was pointed out to me by a viewer, that yeah, the farm, the quarry does just get better over time, but at the same time, it's not It's not that exciting. Is kind of the nicest way of putting it. It's just not that thrilling as things go. Because there definitely could be more exciting things that could come in. But they just aren't right now. So, I'm not super worried about that. At the end of the day, that's just a thing. Right, so we've got lots of trees down. I'm going to put some tree fertilizer on them to try to encourage their growth, because that is kind of an important thing that we need to do here, because I want more growth of things, which I feel is kind of a given at this point. And once they've grown up, then we'll we'll just see what happens. But I think come the new year, we'll go and smash open a few more pine trees and kind of hope for the best on that one. But for now, we'll just drink another bit of espresso, because we need some more espresso in our lives. That's very helpful. And I think that's, again, a given, really. I mean, espresso is a very important and very useful article of important food in my life. That being said, I don't drink much espresso. I mean, yes, of course, we do drink the espresso-based drinks, predominantly in the UK. I mean, I'm trying to think of any, like, trying to think how many shots of espresso. But the thing is, I don't drink it on its own. I think is probably the best way of really describing it. I don't really just drink it just espresso. No, I wouldn't mind trying, but it's not something I've ever thought, you know what, I need some of that in my life. But then again, I like the flavour of coffee, and that's really why I drink it. It's not because of the caffeine quantity, it's because I enjoy the flavour more than anything. And I think that's perfectly normal, right? I mean, that feels reasonably normal to me, at least. I mean, again, could be very wrong in that regard, but that still feels reasonably normal. But then again, I do have a fixation with energy drinks, which I really shouldn't. I'm sure that that's going to be the death of me. High caffeinated death is going to be what kills me. And considering I've had caffeine overdoses in the past, they are not pleasant. Like, oh my, the heart palpitations, they be crazy. It is not fun. Definitely not something I would ever recommend. 1 out of 10, don't do again. But that was my own fault. And yeah, that's just kind of how it goes, really, isn't it? On the dumb stuff that one does. Not really the end of the world. It's just I've done it, and I wouldn't recommend it. And I think that's quite normal. Would not one say. Anyway, silliness aside, we have a couple of other things that we want to try and do. And, yeah, I'm trying to debate on what other things I could do this evening. I mean, it's late enough in the day. But as I was saying, I'm trying to debate what sort of things I'd like to do. I've got a few games. I really want to try playing Graveyard Keeper, because that's kind of in a similar vein to this. I've also got I think it's called Thank Goodness You're Here. I would quite like to do a playthrough of that, because that looks very silly, and I quite enjoy the silliness aspect of it, and I think that'd be fun. And I'm thinking that might be a good sort of a different game to play. Another one I was thinking about is playing Donut County, because it's very stupid, and just quite a nice, silly game, and I like it. I like the cutesy art style. Makes me quite happy. So I think that might be another one. So those are the ones that I'm sort of debating right now, and we'll see what happens with that. Because I couldn't say for certain what might be the best. So yeah. We'll give it a good try. Now, we've got a few other other things that we kind of want to try and do as well. And I am debating a couple of things, to be honest. And one of the other things I'm sort of thinking about is doing a few some other games that are not. I mean, they're maybe a little bit less cozy. I definitely want to do cozy games, but maybe I'll do a couple of that are less so. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I've got some plans, and yeah, that's kind of a thing. But I can definitely say though it's quite been a nice, glorious week though with Stardew Valley, because the 1.6 update has now finally been released onto console, which now means my Xbox playthrough, if I was to revisit that, has the same shiny bits as we do here, as well as my mobile copy, because yes, I am a sad man and I have 3 copies of Stardew Valley. One of them was just because I happened to have some Google Play points that I had acquired through doing surveys. So I thought, why not? Let's spend that on a copy of Stardew. The Xbox version, well, that one's even easier for me because I have Game Pass. So it's on Game Pass, so I didn't even have to buy another copy, which is great, and I will happily have that as a thing. That makes me very happy. So yeah, there's a few opportunities for me to play Stardew, and considering the amount I do, it's not a bad thing. And as I said, I've done Stardew as a bit of an interesting sort of a trial test through. So I'm thinking maybe I'll also try doing a big mod hunt again, and see what I can do with mods, because I would very much like to try maybe the Stardew Expanded, because I've never tried it. I am aware that it exists, but I've just not ever given it a go. And I think it might be quite an interesting different thing, and adding a little bit of extra stuff to the game. So if you have used the Stardew Expanded mod, please let me know what sort of weird and wonderful I'm in for. What can I expect from it? Because it's not something I've looked at previously, and I'm genuinely curious. I would be very keen to see what am I likely to encounter as part of it. Because hey, it could be something really interesting for me. Because like I say, it's not something I've looked into, but I do know it does make the game quite a bit bigger. So we can certainly give it a good try. And there's a few other things I'm sort of looking at, not gonna lie. When it comes to other games, but I think I might give Stardew a little break for now, because I do want to play more Stardew, but I'm not sure. But for now, on Sunday the 28th, the final day of the year, we're going to harvest a large quantity of ancient fruit, which is going to go straight into our wine making barrels, which is lovely. Always going to need more of that. Never going to be upset about wine barrels, because yeah, they're great. So let's slap them away there and see what we can do. And Super Cucumber wrote 3. Oh goodness. Okay, so thankfully those 3 flowered overnight and fruited, which is good. So that means that I don't have to worry about them now. Oh, crab pot. Slap that in. The thing is, like, I wanted to have animals as well as having the crops, but I'm wondering whether there are certain playthroughs almost per se that work better using actually using them or not, or more to the point, not using them. And I'm genuinely curious, because there are lots of opportunities that one gets with the different farms, different layouts, different approaches that one might take, and I don't know. It's not been something that I've really tried focusing upon, because I kind of used this playthrough as a wiki-free playthrough, and I just wanted to see what I could remember and sort of what I could blunder into more than anything, because there's going to be a lot of, oh, I've made this interesting choice. I don't know, I wouldn't really say it's a mistake, but I've definitely made a choice. Whether it's the best one, very different question. I don't know. So yeah, it's been a curious one, and we will see. Right, we're going to slap in the milk, and that's lovely. And we'll make some more cheese. It is quite nice, though, however, that the fruiting trees that are lurking in my greenhouse are now producing iridium quality fruit. And that feels, oh, that does feel good. I'm not going to lie. Because that is some valuable fruit right there. Okay, so we're going to slap in the eggs into the mayo makers. And I mean, it's a lovely day generally, and that's kind of all we want. It's just nice days on the farm doing things. Although I would be shocked if somebody hasn't done a Clarkson's Farm sort of mod or sort of like hilarious approach on Stardew, because goodness gracious, Lord knows that man has done some silly things. And I'm sure there'll be some hilarious disasters that could be replicated. So, anyway, general silliness aside, let's see what we can do. Today we've got some more stuff to throw into the preserve jars, and that's lovely. So look at that lovely iridium quality fruit. Glorious, glorious. Now, of course, I know that my mango and bananas aren't going to be iridium quality because of the way that they got added in later, and not all the trees are going to produce iridium quality just this moment, but they are still at least producing, and that's all I can go with really, is I'm making something, and I'm happy with that as a statement. So let's see what other things we can do today. So we need to kill some crabs, you say. Now, I will admit, the crabs themselves can be a bit of a faff. Thankfully, though, lava crabs, which is what I think he's asked me to kill, they have a similar sort of location as we kind of headed into previously to go and find the diamonds. So that's not the end of the world, but they're not a guaranteed spawn or anything, so they are a little tricksy in that regard. So they could appear, I don't know. They might just decide to be stubborn little sods who don't want to appear and are just not going to give me the opportunity to go and kill them off. Which is very annoying, because I want to get rid of them so I can complete the task that I need to do to get the ticket, because prize tickets are where it's at, in one's own humble opinion. Because prize tickets, yes please. I mean, come on. Why am I never going to want more prize tickets? They're useful. I mean, I know I've got the book out of what I was after from it, but it doesn't mean I don't want to keep going for it. I mean, we might get some more. Don't know. Who knows? Who knows? So, yeah. Right. Gonna slug our way down. Now, of course, we're immune to bomb damage because of the dwarf statue, which is going to make life a lot easier right now. And with 128 regular bombs, sorry, not cherry bombs, but you know, like bombs as opposed to cherry bombs, I think we should be good. Stress on the think being the operative word here, because thinking is not my strongest suit a lot of the time, as I have discovered. I know I joke and I'm being terrible, but I do a lot of dumb stuff. So, let's put a bomb here. Ooh. I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to really do that much damage to me down here. Plus, my hammer can heal me, because it is a vampiric hammer. I have the vampire... I don't have the vampire ring equipped, do I? I might have the vampire. I'm not sure which ring I've actually got equipped. I should probably check that. Curiosity. Because I don't know. That would be, like, vaguely sensible to actually know about what I've got equipped. I say that because, of course, knowing what you've got is kind of good. Maybe. But yes, I've got some ideas. But the thing is, I've got the vampire ring, which heals me, but I've also got the burglar's ring and the slime charmer's combo ring, because they're all combo rings of iridium bands. Now, strictly speaking, I could, in theory, have a combination vampire and slime charmer ring, which is great, because they're the two secondary effects that I want. But the iridium band has that big potent ability of giving you such a boost in so many stats. Why would I not use it? Like, it feels like a really silly thing to not use. But again, I could be making interesting choices. Being the nicest way of putting it, I feel. But we'll see. We will see. Okay, we'll just detonate those, detonate some more bombs. And work our way down. Ah, some gold. Now, I think... Ah, yes, they do have a chance of spawning as gold. I think the lava crabs tend to favour pretending to be gold. I could be incorrect on that statement, though. Because I have seen them pretend to be other things. Like, I have genuinely seen them be just the regular red rock. So, we will see. Okay. So, put another bomb down there. You can get whacked by a hammer. I think I should be sensible and just detonate that and kind of hope for the best at this point. Yep. And bomb goes. Bang. Lovely. Exactly what we need. Just bombs detonating everywhere. And we've got some fire quartz. Lovely stuff. Again, not really the end of the world useful. I don't think any of the gemstones, strictly speaking, are that useful to me. I should probably do another purge of the chest, because I don't need, again, silly quantities of lots of different stones. They're not really, honestly, that helpful to me. Which, again, sounds awful and as a judgment of like, oh, I don't need them, I don't care. But at the same time, I don't really need them. I don't really care. Because when am I ever going to need a stack of 999 topaz, for example? Probably never. Is the logical conclusion that one can bring themselves to. And I'm just like, well, where am I with that? Do I really need other things? Don't know. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm sort of like deep in thought on this one. because I could come up with something vaguely useful, but I could also come up with some absolute mad nonsense. Okay, we've got some more fire quartz, because the thing is, like, I don't really know what I'm grabbing or why I'm grabbing it sometimes. So, for example, I don't really need fiber right now, so I'll happily grab another quiver. Not like I've got a stack of them. No, not at all. I've just got a pile. Like, just an enormous pile of trinkets, and I don't need all of them. And the thing is, the only reason I've got the quiver I do is because, yes, I held on to it because it happened to be rolled with probably what I would consider the best stats of all the quivers that I have discovered. And there's another one. One more to go. So, where is lucky number 4? I didn't say number 3. That would be incorrect. I'm looking for number 4. So, where is lucky crab number 4? Hopefully, we can find it sooner rather than later, because I want to head back to the farm. So let's see. Nope. Smack with a hammer. Detonate said bomb. Bang, boom. Nope, you're not a crab. That's annoying. Are you a... No, you're not a crab. You're a weird, spirity, voidy person that needs to go away. That's a crab, though. At least the advantage of the quiver is it does point out where enemies are. So if it's an enemy that you... Like, for example, these crabs, which I've now completed the kills of, and I now need to go and speak to Demetrius. If you didn't know... you would at least be able to find out. Like, because it would just shoot them. It'll just kill them off, which is great and all. And yeah, I think that's fantastic. That is an opportunity that one can achieve. So yeah, it's nice that the certain trinkets, obviously, they all have their individual uses, and I find that the quiver is the best one for the way that I personally play. I think there are other trinkets that I could use. Like, I have used the fairy on a couple of occasions. I found that one to be particularly useful. More so in when I'm trying to not eat or drink when I'm doing things. And I think that's a reasonable approach. So yeah, that's the thing. Because yeah, if I'm trying to do that particular challenge that Mr. Key sets up for you, that one's quite difficult. So figuring that out works out quite nicely for you if you are playing to do that particular challenge by using the fairy that heals you. See, but then of course there is also the parrot, which I think gives you money. So I wouldn't personally say I ever struggle with money financially in this game. But if you do struggle, there is an option for you, I guess, is probably the best way of putting it. But I think this pretty much rolls up everything that we can do with this year 4. So a big shout out, thank you guys to all of my patrons on Patreon, all of you who have liked, shared and subscribed previously. Thank you again. If you have enjoyed this video, please do like, share and subscribe, because they're always very, very helpful. And hopefully I will catch you again the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley, or maybe something else.